here for? God. We're here for God. We are truly here for God. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. That's really important to remember and to know this morning for each and every one of us. And thank you, Primdaya. What an absolute beautiful prayer and honoring of all of the folks that are on the prayer list. That was beautiful. Yes. Yes. So I'm just going to invite everybody to take a nice, long, deep breath in. Allow yourself to be present in the moment. Open up your mind and your heart and your soul and your spirit. Whatever might be going on, swirling around in your head or in your heart, I just invite you to be present. Today we journey into the metaphysics of change and into the heart of transformation. Personal, communal, and evolutionary. When we talk about change, we often mean improvement, a slight modification of the old structure. William Maum said, "Life is change. Growth is optional. Choose wisely." Quantum transformations, the kind that alter our reality, requires metamorphosis. And there is no greater teacher of metamorphosis than a butterfly. We know the story. The caterpillar eats, spins a chrysalis, and emerges as a winged wonder. Yet, the incredible metaphysical secret lies in what happens inside the chrysalis. The caterpillar doesn't just sprout wings. It literally, physiologically dissolves itself. Anybody been there before? Anybody felt dissolved before? Maybe feeling like you're dissolving now, or maybe want to dissolve now. So let's start with our friend the caterpillar. The caterpillar eats 300 times its body weight. Anybody been there? I've been there many times. It has one job: eat leaves, get chubby, repeat. Eat leaves, get chubby, repeat. It is basically a tiny, adorable spiritual being in the all-you-can-eat buffet of life stage. Been there. But then one day, something stirs within it. Something says, there is more. There is expansion. There is another way of being that my soul is calling to me. And the caterpillar, who, by the way, did not ask for any of this complexity, suddenly finds itself with an inner calling. Now, do you know what the caterpillar does with that inner calling? I'm sure you do. It climbs a branch, hangs upside down, wraps itself tightly in a silky sleeping bag, and basically melts. This is not a gentle transformation. It is not a spa day. It is a total dissolution of the previous identity. So when people tell me, change is easy, just trust spirit, I laugh a little on the inside, sometimes a little on the outside. And I remind them, my loves, even the caterpillar liquefies. Maya Angelou profoundly wrote about this when she said, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve the beauty." When we think of the process of the in-betweenness, of moving from one state to another, such as the caterpillar in the cocoon, or like a bear hibernating, we'd most likely envision rest and quiet, rather than movement and activity. However, if you watch a video of a caterpillar's transformation in the chrysalis, it can seem like it's wriggling to get out of a straitjacket. It can evoke a whole range of sentiments just watching them. Struggle, dance, pain, wonder, awe are among those noted. I see all of them simultaneously, and it reminds me of the intensity of both light and dark that we are able to contain as we transform by shedding the old and allowing the new to emerge. Inside the cocoon, something extraordinary happens. Imaginal cells appear. Now, these are real biological cells. Scientists discovered them long after mystics described them. Imaginal cells hold the blueprint of the butterfly, even while the caterpillar is still very much a caterpillar. And when they first show up, the caterpillar's immune system attacks them as invaders. How spiritually relatable. Have you ever had a new idea, a new possibility, a new calling, and your old self said, nope, too weird, too risky, no thank you. I will just stay down here in my leaf-eating comfort zone. Or maybe you feel like you're pushed into change. Maybe you didn't sign up for it, but change is a-coming. And you're like, I'm bailing, I'm out of here, I just can't handle it. I just want to stay in my leaf-eating comfort zone. The old consciousness tries to destroy them, but they multiply, they cluster, they connect, they resonate, they form networks, they communicate. Eventually, they become strong enough that the old immune system, those old beliefs, those old habits, those old defenses, they can no longer stop them. This is when transformation begins to really take off. This is not just biology, it's metaphysics. The imaginal cells are the divine ideas within us. They're the seeds of potential. They are our soul's whisperings, our intuitive nudges. They are our sacred discontent. Change doesn't come from fixing the old. It comes from imagining the new. And when we honor those inner visions, even when they're rejected or misunderstood, we become the butterfly. Often they are rejected and often they are misunderstood. Change, the reason why it is such a powerful, potent change agent is because it tends to hit all, if not most, if not all of our triggers. It tends to be the thing that pushes, prods, and then pushes you. You know, it's been a pivotal week, a really pivotal week. Astrologically, in so many different ways. You know, we had the first solar eclipse of 2026 on Monday. We had the new moon happening at the same exact time and two very, very powerful planets conjuncting. And then it just goes from there. We had the Chinese New Year, so we went out of the snake and went into the fire dragon. The horse, sorry. Thank you, you're paying attention. The fire horse, yes. The fire horse, so many things. And I'm going to get into this a little later today about what today is, because today is a pretty amazing day. It's known as one of the absolute luckiest days of the year that we have for us today. Amen. I hear you. Yet, back to change. Back to the goo. Back to where we're melting. With all of that tends to come the pain of discontent, or pain and triggers that come up from things that might have happened in the past. Things that might come up that the universe, spirit, energy that's working within our consciousness, subconsciousness, or conscious awareness that says, you really got to take a look at this if you want to turn into that. You really need to feel this. Resolve it, heal it. Do what you need to do with it in order to move through what you need to move through. So If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. How does one become a butterfly? You must want to fly so much that you're willing to give up being a caterpillar. So the next time a new idea keeps showing up in your life, whisper back, "Hello, little imaginal self, I see you." Give it a little welcome. The journey of transformation, growth, and evolution continues when the butterfly is formed. Y'all thought it was over then, didn't you? But it didn't. It's not. It continues. Brene Brown writes of a concept she calls reckoning. Reckoning. It's an interesting word, isn't it? Say it. Reckoning. It's an interesting word. It parallels the transformation of butterflies emerging from their chrysalis. The struggle to emerge is likened to the challenges individuals and communities face when they're going through growth and development. Just as butterflies must confront and overcome the difficulties of their metamorphosis, individuals and communities must confront and overcome their challenges, also known as growing pains. To achieve growth and resilience, Brene emphasizes the importance of facing and overcoming problems as an essential part of transforming and evolving. And just when the caterpillar thought her life was over, she begins to fly. The metaphysical journey continues as the butterfly effect comes into play. It's the idea that small actions can create massive consequences. You may have heard the metaphor. A butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil, and somewhere in Texas, a tornado happens. The butterfly effect is a concept that small, seemingly insignificant actions can have far-reaching and profound impacts. Coined by mathematician and meteorologist Edward Lorenz in the 1960s, this theory has since captured the imagination of scientists, philosophers, and the general public. Understanding the butterfly effect allows us to appreciate the interconnectedness of our world and the power of our choices. I'm not here to confirm the meteorological accuracy of this. I can barely say the word. I'm really not here to confirm it. Yet spiritually, the metaphor is gold because it reminds us no small act of consciousness is wasted. Every shift we make vibrates through the whole field, and our transformations transform the world. We tend to think of our actions in isolation. I shouted in traffic. That only affects me. I offered a kind word. That only affects the person who heard it. But chaos theory proves what mystics have known for a very long time. Everything is connected. Metaphysically, that means your smallest, most seemingly insignificant act of consciousness is sending a ripple through the fabric of reality. Folks, that's wonderful news, right? And it can be scary news. That's a great deal of responsibility. That's a great deal of accountability. That's a big wake-up call for us to wake up and be super aware of our thoughts and our words and our actions, knowing, and I mentioned this at the drumming circle last week before, that the idea and the definition of prayer come up in a conversation. And I was asked, and I said, to me, prayer is every thought that we think and every word that we speak and every bit of air that we breathe. Because, folks, we are all connected, and it's all consciousness. And it's a wonderful thing, and it can be a scary thing. And how powerful our intentionality is, how powerful our feelings are and our emotions are. The silent prayer you said this morning, it shifted the atmosphere. That moment you chose patience over anger, you healed generations. That single choice to practice gratitude, you amplified the field of joy for everyone that you encounter. The key insight is this: there is no small act in the quantum universe. When you choose to be the butterfly, fully transformed and committed to your divine potential, your very presence becomes a catalytic force of global change. Understanding the butterfly effect allows us to appreciate the interconnectedness of our world and the power of our choices. The way we look at the world shapes the person we become. The way we look at the world shapes the person we become. The way we look at the world shapes how we react and respond to things. There's a story of a boy that went into a diner. A 10-year-old boy entered a hotel coffee shop and sat down at a table, and the waitress put a glass of water in front of him. "Miss, how much does an ice cream sundae cost?" he asked. $1. Now, this story is from a long time ago, just so you know. $1, replied the waitress. The little boy pulled his hands out of his pocket, and he studied the coins in it. "Okay, then, how much is a plain dish of ice cream?" he inquired. By now, more and more people were waiting for a table, and the waitress was growing impatient. 75 cents, she brusquely replied. The little boy again counted his coins. "I'll have the plain ice cream," he said. The waitress brought the ice cream, put the bill on the table, and walked away. The boy finished the ice cream, paid the cashier, and left. When the waitress came back to the table, she began to cry as she started to clear it, because there, placed next to the empty dish of vanilla ice cream swirled around the edges, was a quarter. You saw what he did there, right? Yeah. Responsibility and accountability. We're all connected. By understanding and embracing the butterfly effect, we can become more intentional with our decision making, like the little boy and his ice cream, striving to create positive ripple effects that contribute to a more compassionate, sustainable, and harmonious world. In the book Illusions by Richard Bach, how many of y'all have read that book? So oldie, but a super duper goodie. In Illusions by Richard Bach, he describes a tribe of creatures living at the bottom of a river, clinging tightly to the rocks, because that is all they have ever known. But one creature grows tired of clinging. He says, "I trust the current. I will let go." The others warned, "No, don't go. You'll be swept away. You'll die. Stay with us. Cling with us." You been there? Yeah. Yeah. But he lets go. At first, he's tumbled, he's knocked around, kind of like every spiritual initiate on the first week of changing anything. Yeah. That's been my week. Woo! But then the current lifts him. He learns the flow. He becomes graceful, carried, and supported. The others watching from below say, "Behold, he flies." This is the butterfly effect in action. One soul's surrender becomes a beacon. One act of courage shifts the field. When we let go of fear and control and the need to cling, we become catalysts. Our transformation inspires others to release their grip and trust the flow of life. This is the story of spiritual transformation. The caterpillar melts, the creature lets go, the butterfly emerges. In each case, the old structure dissolves, the new identity emerges, the community witnesses and follows. Another profound contemporary example of the butterfly effect is in the series The Good Place. Anybody here watch the series The Good Place? Yeah. Pretty hilarious, isn't it? You just gotta love that Eleanor. And on the surface, the show is a comedy about the afterlife. But at its heart, it's a profound exploration of moral growth, spiritual evolution, letting go of fixed identities, and the idea that we transform together. In The Good Place, we watch humans wrestle with ethics, identity, and redemption. The twist: the afterlife system is broken. No one gets into heaven anymore. The characters realize that modern life is so complex, so interconnected, that even good intentions have unintended consequences. This is a profound metaphysical insight. We are all entangled. Our choices ripple out. Buying a tomato affects a farmer, a supply chain, and a climate. The show's resolution isn't punishment, it's growth. Souls are given the chance to learn, to evolve, to live from the highest version of themselves. We talked about that another Sunday, the Entelechy. This is the new thought paradigm. We are not judged, we are invited. Every moment is a classroom. Every mistake is a lesson. Every soul is on a journey toward greater love. What changes them most is not reward or punishment. It's relationship, it's reflection, and it's choice. Michael the architect must let go of being a powerful demon and instead learn humility, curiosity, and service. Eleanor must let go of the identity that I am trash and embrace I am capable of becoming good. Chidi must let go of the belief I must know everything before acting and instead trust love, intuition, and courage. Tahani lets go of needing approval. Jason lets go of impulsive self-centeredness. Janet lets go of being merely a programmed being and becomes self-aware, compassionate, and wise. Everyone grows because everyone lets go and integrates their personal, cellular, and surrender-based change into our collective and eternal purpose. And it ends with a powerful, tender truth. When the time comes to release the old form, it is not a failure. It is not an ending. It's a natural step in spiritual evolution, from caterpillar to butterfly, from imaginal cell to winged creatures full of wings, from flowing river creature to a flying being, from the good place to this place right here. Transformation is not a solo sport. A caterpillar does not become a butterfly because one imaginal cell shows up. It becomes a butterfly when thousands connect, resonate, and collaborate. That's community. That's spiritual community. That's us. Your shift changes me. My awakening influences you. Our shared practice lifts everyone. And just as in the good place, we co-evolve. This spiritual community is a chrysalis. It's a sacred container where the old dissolves and the new emerges. In a world full of uncertainty, polarity, anxiety, and change, we are called to be the imaginal cells, holding the vision of what's possible with love, wisdom, courage, and compassion together. Caterpillars don't get to bring their legs into butterflyhood. They don't get to sleep. They don't get to keep their old identity as a backup plan. They don't cling to the chrysalis walls saying, I just need a little stability while I'm trying to fly. No, they let go. They dissolve. They surrender. And from that surrender, something holy appears. So we must ask ourselves, what am I still clinging to? An old story about who I am? A belief about what's possible? A resentment I polish like a pebble? Anybody polishing some resentment pebbles? A fear of change dressed up as practicality. This is the way it's always been. A comfort zone disguised as a value. And what might spirit be trying to grow in me that the old identity simply cannot hold? In the same way, communities must ask, what old patterns are we ready to release? What new possibilities are calling us forward? What imaginal cells, new ideas, new people, new consciousness are trying to emerge? We cannot fly if we insist on carrying our old cocoon with us. We cannot fly if we insist on carrying our old cocoon with us. Transformation is not punishment. It is an invitation. It is fulfillment. It is the divine revealing itself through our willingness. The caterpillar did not become a caterpillar by striving, forcing, or hustling. It became a caterpillar by allowing. The river creature did not fly by clinging, it flew by letting go. The characters in The Good Place did not evolve through perfection, they evolved through willingness, growth, and connection. And we, you, me, all of us, become our highest selves in the same way. Through surrender, through trust, through community, through love, through responsibility, through accountability. Letting go is sacred work. It is the courage to say, I release what no longer serves so that I may become what Spirit is calling me to be. I allow the divine imaginal cells within me to guide my becoming. I release the old with grace. I welcome the new with joy. I trust the current. I open my wings. I am becoming who I was created to be. And so we begin. And so we let go. And so we fly. And so it is. Thank you. I have a very important, thank you. I have a very important butterfly ritual that includes butterflies that we will be doing after we eat lunch in the 1 hour long community experience that I'll be facilitating. So please come back for that. Thank you very much.